Hi, I'm playing Minecraft, but it's super laggy when I move just a little bit. I wonder what's wrong. Why is the grass so green? Seems a little odd. What's with this cursor? How are these mountains so big? Look, that has to be maybe 100 blocks above me, and what? This is crazy. It just keeps going downwards. What's going on? Ooh, it's a little laggy. Don't know if this is Minecraft or not. Look. That's insane. This can't be Minecraft. There's no way. What game am I playing? I'm telling you, I went to the Minecraft launcher and I clicked 1.8. I wanted to play, a little older version, but I was expecting this. This is huge. I didn't know Minecraft could support this. It has to be more than the build limit. It's so big. I'm just joking. It's my clone. It sort of supports infinite world generation now. And it's a little bit laggy because, well, there's quite a bit of chunks here. And there's no frustum or a frustum. And there's no multi-threading, so loading the chunks can be a little slow. And also, it doesn't. Oh well, that's why we're in the negative. It's kind of buggy. But take a look. This is insane. Let's take a look at this. So, what level is this at? I wonder. Well, when you're going down, it's a little bit different since my rendering algorithm is a little odd. It's an oddball. It does it puts so basically at the core it's cubic chunks, but it combines them into vertical chunks. Currently, it's loading it now, so just give it a minute. There we go. Every oh, it's because I'm not going straight down. Anyway, every 3 chunks, it's gonna do a big load like that. And also, it's negative numbers, so it doesn't enjoy negative values that much. But see, okay, so this is -10 for world generation. -10. Minecraft currently does -64, but it's not the point. Not the point. That was -10. Let's see how big this mountain is here. It's gonna be a little while. We're generating new chunks. What did I mention? It's the horizontal plane when you're moving vertically up and down. She's working hard. Just give her a minute. She's still, single-threaded. Single-threaded workload here. It'll be changed soon. I'll have some workers going on. They'll all be generating chunks. Because this is the easiest. This is the easy kind of world generation I can get right now. See, that's out of the view right now. So currently it's doing 16 chunks vertically. That's normal Minecraft. However, Minecraft makes it's always in view. So we're only seeing 8 chunks down just about, and we're seeing 8 chunks up. But when we're down there, we could see 8 chunks up. You get the point. This has a little bit more. It's a little bit different, not what you're used to. So currently, we're at Oof, 255. We're still moving through the chunks. It's so bad. I'll fix this soon. It's very possible. Let's see how big this mountain peak is here. Okay, so we're at 293. No, you can't see it, but it's on my terminal. On the other side, it shows me the coordinates. So we're at 293. That means that mountain from valley to peak is 300 blocks. Think about that. Minecraft can only do 256 blocks for however long now. Like, that's insane. You could do some serious stuff with that. Let's see how big that mountain peak is. Like, that looks huge. Okay, not a very big valley, but let's take a look. COVID. Okay. Let's see. So this mountain peaks all the way up to 338. That's more. Oh, maybe not. It's just as much as the new modern versions of Minecraft can do. Maybe there's even shallower peaks in this, or even so. Okay, so the terrain generation is a little funky though. And what can you expect? And also, we're in the negative values. It's not gonna enjoy it very much. You can see I'm seeing right through because I'm using triangles. I'll see the wire mesh. So let's move. We can go into the positive, and it'll be much smoother because it's not as many triangles. Because there's problems, I should say, with the world generation. Let's see if we can find a big mountain. So I want to go in, positive X and Y, or else it's gonna lag me out again. Let's see. Let's go back to solid view. And it's generating so many chunks. It's not enjoying itself right now. It's blocking a thread until it can fill all the chunk slots. So it's going as fast as it possibly can. Okay, so this looks bigger than what we just saw, or maybe even just as big. Yeah, take a look at that. Oh, look at that. We can build. Perfect. So you can see 326, 331. We could just keep going, couldn't we? Oh well, no, maybe. Oh, it's not enjoying that very much. Okay. Well, apparently it doesn't want me to build. Apparently we found our limit. Oh no, we can keep going. Just a little bit odd, but no, we're definitely not out of chunks yet. It's probably just building it somewhere else. My block algorithm, my block placing, it was a little funky. I couldn't get it working again. I wanted to. Alright, let's see. Oof, if we could stop lagging out. That's what needs multi-threading. And then once I get multi-threading, I can really play with world generation. It'll be really nice. I had caves going, but it's just too laggy with all these chunks. It'll just, because caves, the way I was generating is super slow, super tedious. And I can't believe this video is already at 9 minutes and 14 seconds. I was going to find a nice valley to go, but let's see how deep we can dig. Oh yeah, it's broken again. Well, anyway. Let's see if we can find a valley. Let's see how deep we can find it, if it doesn't crash. It's not crashable. It won't want to crash, but it's just super slow. I mean, maybe it'll crash. I mean, it was written in C++. I mean, just one wrong pointer and it could overwrite the stack, you know? Oof, that was a big one. Well, even this looks deeper than what we just saw. Oh, it's loading chunks again. Just give it a minute, give it a minute. It's uploading the vertices now. It'll be done very soon, very soon. And what? This is 32. So this is a 16. What used to be called normal, maybe? It's a 16, so it's a total of 33 chunks cubed, squared. So about quite a few. So, and there's no good way to do this. Okay, so this seems to be a deeper, a valley with more depth than the original one I showed you. Just give it a minute, give it a minute, give it a minute. Let's take a look. Yeah, we can't even see the top of the mountains anymore. It's gonna start getting a little laggy too, because okay, apparently not. Apparently negative on the Y is okay, or the Z, however you want to call it. So this is negative 31. So as you can see, it has 370 just for the world generation. I can make the world generation go from 0 to negative to 1,000 blocks high. I could have build the Earth terrain generation. I could have the Earth in Minecraft. Or not Minecraft, this is my clone. Because the possibilities are limitless with infinite world generation in all directions. That also means if I could have planets, because the universe is of course, well, it has 3 dimensions, but of course it has a 4th dimension too. You have time and gravity, but time is not really a dimension, but gravity, yes, that is technically a dimension. And that's pretty difficult to do in a voxel-based game. However, technically I could have all the planets of the solar system in this game. Maybe not in a reasonable space, and maybe not reasonable. Well, it is technically possible. I could have every single planet, every single star, all the habitable planets in this game. Easy. I think that would be cool. You could have the International Space Station to scale, wherever it is, right as that the Earth was sampled when you were building the generation. But you could see, okay, maybe this is like, okay, maybe you got some plains down here, okay, and then you got your mountains, your mountain range all the way up there, and you could have a trail that goes all the way up the mountain. You could have roads that go all right around it, zigzag all the way up. You could have everything that the Earth has can be built in this game. Okay, trees, the size, just massive trees. You could have trees. Let's see, isn't the redwood tree should be 300 meters? It's either 300 feet or 300 meters, but think about that. Minecraft 1.17 couldn't even load that. Maybe no, 1.17, yeah, 1.17 couldn't even load. Wait, no, I forgot which one they added the increased build height. But let me tell you, that was improper of Mojang. They shouldn't have done that. What they should have done was added cubic chunks, because the problem with increasing the size of the chunk instead of just rendering it separately is that because if you have a less powerful computer than mine's not even that powerful. Mine can't even do modern OpenGL. It has compatibility mode because the GPU is so old, it can't even do it. So with someone with a modern GPU, well, even with someone with worse hardware than mine, they couldn't easily, like, it's very difficult for them to render, was it 256 plus 64. So that's going to be, what was it, 310? No, 320. And the problem is, just adding 64 is terrible. It's a terrible way to do it, because that means you're still rendering the caves underground. You're rendering everything from bedrock to the sky limit. Well, if there's nothing above the, terrain above, it's not really a big problem. But if you have structures and you're still rendering the caves underground, it doesn't make any sense at all. You could have with this game, okay, I want to have it so I want to have range so nothing below my feet is loaded. Just have it so the stuff in my feet, so all I gotta see is this valley here and those mountains up there. You just program it like that, and boom, you don't have to render all those caves that you probably won't even see until, okay, well, you can make it so, okay, you have the top, so okay, you have maybe 72 to all the way to down to bedrock, well, which would be negative 64 in the new versions. So you don't even render it when you're above the ground. However, I wanted to do with this game, and that's why I wanted to do it. See, Cubic Chunks, I wanted to do some pretty good terrain generation with Cubic Chunks. That means I'm referring to the mod for Java. But the problem was that it's still Java. That's the problem. Java is slow as it's molasses compared to C++, even just C++. C++, I could make it as much faster. But C++, it's a catch-all for if you want performance. You want performance? Just make it in C++. I think C++ it has every feature of every language nowadays. You can have low level, you can have high level. It's a subset of C. You can just, my GPU is burning up right now. Haha. Jeez. My CPU is right at my desk, so my hand is right next to it. Ooh, she's toasty. Oh, and also one fan on my GPU is dead. I probably need to go into the fan, and it probably needs some lubrication, or maybe it's stuck on something, but it can move it by hand. That's the part that doesn't make any sense. Anyway, Cubic Chunks is still Java, and that's a problem because it's still slow. No matter what you do, it's still slow. You can't do any kind of advanced terrain generation, anything, because it's just slow. You can't fix that. You can't fix any of that. Also, Minecraft is also slow, of course. You can't fix that either. And Cubic Chunks is also out of date. They finally got to 1.17. They finally got some builds for it, but you're already 2 versions behind. They're already coming out with 1.19. I wanted to do some really special stuff, even just procedurally generated, not just based off Earth. I want to do some really special procedural generation. Not only do I want oceans, I want rivers that aren't just at sea level. I want them to go all the way up that mountain. You see how it slopes up? I want the rivers to come flowing down. I want it to grow as the altitude raises. I want it to spread out. I want it to disperse up the mountain, but it'll collect. It'll have waterfalls. It'll have sediment. I won't implement, like, after the world is generated, I won't go and update. So I won't go and add sediment and it'll start collecting and eroding. I won't do that. It'll be generated and it won't change. Once the water, it'll be programmed into it that the water erodes the rock. It'll create new rock. It'll be right next to the water. It'll be kind of eroded. It'll be smooth, because there is technically smooth. So the thing, there's theory to this. There's theory to creating a good Minecraft game. There's a theory to making a Minecraft clone per se. So the problem I have with Minecraft, and I didn't even want to make a clone. I didn't see the purpose to it. Maybe just to learn some OpenGL, maybe some little bit of language here and there, some game dev, but not until I watched 2B2T videos, I realized how bad Minecraft is for massive multiplayer online role-playing games. If you could fix the problems with Minecraft and have an MMORPG, you could have the best-selling game of all time. See, I want you to think about what makes popular games popular. And I don't want it to be exclusive to first-person shooters. All of them are shit. It's all the same deal. You have a gun, you kill people. Well, great, you revolutionized the game. However, when you come to GTA, okay, it's an open world. Cool. You can mod it. Cool. Okay, that's something. You can do stuff. You can have it you can play with your friends. However, it's not complete sandbox. It's not complete open world. It is an open world, but it's not. It can be campaignless. It can be without a goal. But the problem is, you can't edit the map when you're playing, of course. That's a problem with GTA. I enjoy games like that, though. Don't get me wrong. I like to be able to play with my friends. I want to do whatever hell I want. I want to play with tanks, some damn jets. Okay, well, the only games I can do that in is maybe some Battlefield. I'm not too familiar with all the games because I don't play very many games. It's just a waste of time, to say the least. So when you come to when you think about stuff like Minecraft, what makes Minecraft popular? Well, it's a sandbox. It's also a technical game because of redstone. It's again a sandbox, and that's the biggest thing. Is that it's a sandbox. It's infinitely generated. It's procedurally generated. Every single world is different. Because every single world is different, everyone else can have their own separate story. You can edit every single component. Well, okay, not every single component, but you can edit the components of your world. You can change. You could destroy Bedrock if you really wanted to and you had the time. You could turn your normal survival world into a skyblock if you had the time, and if no one does. No one will want to destroy all the Bedrock with the Bedrock destroying tools. However, that's a very big fact. Minecraft is sandbox. It's open world. It's multiplayer. And it's also moddable. You can add mods. But the elephant in the fucking room is that Java is slow. Java is the worst language Notch could have used for Minecraft. Now, he didn't know it was going to be super popular. He didn't know it was going to be the best-selling game of all time. No one could have figured that out. I want this clone to be successful, but I don't think it's going to be the next selling game. I don't even think I can sell it as is because it's still Minecraft. It has Minecraft textures. Okay, maybe not modern Minecraft textures because they changed the textures to shittier textures, but it's still Minecraft. At its core, it's still Minecraft. It's a copy. It's a clone. The big difference is it is written in C++. Now, there is Bedrock, and that's in C++, but they botched it. They fucked it up. They completely wrecked what is Minecraft with Bedrock. They took Notch's vision, and they shit on it. They should be ashamed of what they've done to Bedrock. See, I don't know how you can release a game with so many bugs and how many developers does Mojang have? They have 300 developers and they can't even make a functioning game. Think about that. They make an update once a year. How long? They have so much time, resources, and money, and they're squandering it. They sit at Minecon for 3 hours just rambling on and on about, oh, there are great new features. Okay, here's another theory about what Minecraft good. Before Minecraft, about 1.7.10. Even before then, before Minecraft peaked at around 1.7.10, between version 1.0, the release, and 1.7.10. Now what happened? Why isn't it as popular nowadays? Is it because the developers simply didn't touch it for so long? Possibly. Is it because Notch left? Maybe, but I don't think so. Maybe it is because there's no updates. But what could keep people around is multiplayer. Multiplayer is the glue. Mods and multiplayer are the glue to the game. Without these, the game is nothing. Now, what is Minecraft nowadays and why can't it be as popular? Because there's too many damn features. If Minecraft was simple, if Minecraft was elegant, and Minecraft was multiplayer, it would be popular once again. If it was modular, and if those technical players wanted to add their 300 mods, and their shitty, crafting trees, sure, go ahead. That's what my framework is for. It's for those modders and those technical players. They can go ahead. They can add their logic gates as single blocks instead of making the redstone circuits. They can add it as that. They can add computers inside Minecraft. Go ahead. That's what the Minecraft framework is for. But if you think, okay, I'm going to go ahead and we don't need the bud switch anymore because we're going to add a single block, a single magic block that replaces the bud switch. Well, I have a problem with that because you no longer make the game, well, should I say, you added features that the game did not require. Okay, maybe, the observer is a useful block. But what's cooler, an observer or a bud switch? The good old Etho bud switch. I prefer the Etho bud switch because in itself it shows you what it does. You have your redstone torch, your piston, your redstone block. Even at the time they didn't have redstone block, but I like to exploit the features of the game that are not written. If you could make a game that was feature full without being feature full, you created the best selling game. If you could have unwritten features, that is the best game you could write. Because, okay, you have the base game, but that's not great. You add, okay, let's add a netherite pickaxe. Okay, you added 500 to the durability. You added another ore that we did not need. You added stuff that we did not need. Netherite, a fully enchanted netherite pickaxe in Haste 2 still cannot insta-mine cobblestone. Maybe if it could insta-mine cobblestone, my mind would be changed, but at this point, it's useless. And there's other things that I have gripes with, such as mending. Okay, great. I could there's a list to this that make Minecraft too simple to play. It's too easy. It's too easy to get endgame and be done with the game and become bored. Okay, once you are at endgame, what's the point? You just keep building? No, what's the point? You're not playing with your friends. Okay, let's find, so, I could make all the farms that are in the world. Okay, once you're done with that, what's the point? You're not playing with your friends. Okay. On the obverse, you're playing with your friends. You guys are finished. What happens when you build? What happens when you build everything? It becomes laggy. Why? Because the game's written in Java. Because the game's not multi-threaded. You make all the farms, and it's still laggy. Why? It doesn't need to be laggy. If from the start they multi-threaded the workload, and people all the time say, oh no, multi-threading is not possible. I disagree. It is completely possible to multi-thread the workload of the ticks. It's very possible. It's, without a doubt, it's not easy per se. It's not easy to develop a multi-threaded tick workload, but it's possible. Regardless of people that say, "Oh no, it's not possible. Minecraft is too complex for ticking to be on different threads." No. You have it on separate threads, but people can separate from each other. People do not share the same loaded chunks. People do not share the same ticked chunks as each other at all times. Now, once they do merge, well then you've got a problem, because now you have two threads ticking the same chunks. You need to merge those. So you need one thread to override the other thread. And then once they separate again, they need to once have their own workers again. No, yeah, this could be a problem, but it's no worse than what Minecraft is nowadays, a single-threaded mess. Currently, if 2B2T is a single thread, 800 players, a single fucking thread. If this workload could be dispersed, now you have 800 threads, or no, not, it's 800 threads. One for each player that loads their own area, their own region. Now, yes, once those players converged, there's now 800 players in a single thread, but it's no worse than what 2B2T is currently. Also, if those players could share a single thread, I highly doubt their loaded area is going to be very large than what 2B2T is currently, where every player can load maybe, 64? No, that's, maybe 64 if maybe 100 chunks per player. That means 80,000 ticked chunks, because Java Edition, every chunk is ticked in your render distance. That means there's 80,000 ticked chunks on that single thread. I don't know how it does it, but the problem, see, that would not be a problem with a single, multiple threads. If you had all 800 players in a single thread, what would happen is, well, those 800 players are now in a single region, and they're only taking up 100 chunks. That's only 100 ticking chunks. Well, that's 800 times better than what it used to be. Okay, there's only one edge case to this, and that's if every single player that took up that single chunk created a line. They created a line where no chunks connected to each other, and it continued for 8,000 chunks. Yeah, that would be a big problem. Now that area of the Minecraft world is slowing down, and that might be an issue, then that might not be an issue. okay, if all that area is now separate and another player, now these players, there's a player on a separate thread, and those 800 players on a single thread, and those 800 players on a single thread are now ticking behind the player that's running at 20 ticks per second. I don't necessarily see this as an issue because, well, there's no advantage to being less than 20 ticks per second. But if everyone's at 10 ticks per second, you now have an advantage at being at proper game time. There's no downsides to this, to the way this would work. Because the way processors work nowadays, there is no more single threads. There is no more single thread performance. It's over. Now, yes, in fact, my 4-year-old CPU is half as good as the newest CPU. Of course, it can be true a little bit, but it's slowing down. That train is stopping, and it's stopping for no one, and it's going for no one. Okay, well, it would stop because reasons. It would stop sooner, but there's no more single-threaded performance you can juice out once that train stops. Threads, however, well, they'll just keep growing. You'll get more and more threads. You'll have more and more threads, more and more cache. More and more cache per thread. More RAM. Well, you see the dilemma there. You've gone parallel instead of serial. We can use that to our advantage, though, because Minecraft can still be a multi-threaded game, and therefore Minecraft can still be performant. I understand, though, this game is nowhere near as currently performant as Minecraft is. There's multiple reasons for that. And there's multiple ways I can increase the performance here. So one is there's a loop that loops through all the chunks. And I wish I had my demonstration, but I don't. But so I'm unloading 32 chunks, and that's 32 times 32. I believe that's 512. But that's besides the point. That might be 100,024, but that means there's that many, and they go in a loop, and it's loaded by OpenGL needs to upload those vertices. Well, just once. Once the chunk is meshed, it's fine, because now the data's on the GPU. But now it needs to go back and draw every single chunk. And there's a problem. You should just be able to do it all at once. And that's possible, because there's a way to do it in OpenGL. I haven't touched on that yet. What's important right now is not my graphics performance. It's world generation performance, because you can see here. So look, there's if I could somehow demonstrate, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 vertices to that face. It's a simple quad, but there's 6 vertices. And that's a problem, because now you have, okay, let's take a look at this one. It also has 6, but when you look at this, you can think about this cube in just 4. Right there, right there, and right there, and right there. Well, you don't need any more than that. It might be easier for the game to understand that you're trying to draw triangles. And it certainly is easier for OpenGL to do triangles than it is to do quads. So also, this cube can share vertices with this cube. I haven't touched that yet, but that's also possible. Also, these vertices and these two faces, these two triangles, well, if you see here, this is a single flat plane. Why couldn't all these faces share a single two triangles? Because it's all just squares with the same size. So in fact, that is possible. You take this and you just expand the face to this one, and then this one, and this one, and now you have, for this one strip that's maybe 30 triangles. Well, now just 2 because you merged all those faces, and that's a huge performance gain. You know, once I get around to it, may or may not happen anytime soon, but that's a way to gain a lot of performance. And there's other things you can do too. I'm not worried about performance because you can always go back and tap it. You can open the spigot some more. It'll never stop flowing. Especially with something like C++. Especially with something as simple as voxels. As simple as Minecraft is. You can never stop tapping this more and more. Okay, what if OpenGL is too slow? Oh, you can use a different one then. You can just use Vulkan. You could roll your own. Okay, maybe not. You shouldn't roll your own, but it's technically, you can do it. Oh, I have a text. Anyway. But takeaways are, what would make Minecraft popular? Multiplayer. Massive multiplayer. And a server that can handle it. If you have those 2 key elements, and modding too. Don't forget modding, so people can have hackers and stuff like that. Of course, that stuff is also necessary. Minecraft wouldn't be fun if you didn't have an advantage over the other people. So that's my main 3 takeaways. I don't know how many takeaways I counted. That's it, yeah. That's all I gotta say. It's really simple, Mojang. It's me against you. And you're not an indie developer anymore, Mojang. Don't pull the indie developer card on us. You are literally a gaming developing studio now. You have 300 developers, and all you can do is shit on modders, because modders can make more advanced mods than what Minecraft is right now. Optifine. How are they able to tap more performance out of Minecraft now? It should be impossible, because Mojang shouldn't have already tapped the spigot some more. But no. They won't even touch it. They won't even worry about it. They're like, oh no, I don't see an issue. Nope. They have their blindfolds on. They're like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? Oh, money. My game will not have any kind of DLC, or no one will pay for skins. In fact, I will have I'll have skins, I'll have everything. But I will not have DLCs. You will not pay for mods. You will not pay to play on servers. Well, actually, you can play. You can do that, and you can play and pay for other people's servers and stuff. But for my game, no. The only thing you will pay for are the servers I host. I'll have it so maybe you pay 99 cents. But this game will be so huge, it will pay all my expenses. All I ask for is enough to keep me alive and keep developing the game. But, I haven't even touched multiplayer yet. I'll come to it eventually, of course. But I'll have support for all my user limit on one server for, okay, maybe it's just a simple laptop that's hosting the server. Okay, what if we had the same parameters as a normal Minecraft server now, which is 10 chunks. That's about 21 chunks squared, and then 16 vertical chunks as well. Well, if you had a laptop hosting that, a normal laptop can do a normal Minecraft server, not too much. Especially my laptop, it's a normal Celeron. It's nothing to write home about. But I think that the computer, 500 player is easy. All exploring and stuff. Because the job of the client is more difficult than you think. The client's busy meshing chunks. It's busy going through all the chunks and rendering it. What does a server do? Well, it generates chunks, it ticks, and it sends you stuff. Well, that's everything. Why is this so difficult? Why can 2B2T only have 800 players? It doesn't make a lick of sense. I think it's possible to have a lot more than that on a simple 2-thread. My laptop is 2 threads at 2 gigahertz with 8 gigabytes of RAM. Okay, I gave it an upgrade of RAM, but that's besides the point. RAM is not an issue, especially nowadays. I think simple EPYC CPU with their 64 cores and 128 threads, we're talking players in the tens of thousands on a single server. Think about that and leave a comment.